Empire State in the first of a 10-game road trip. It's the Padres and the New York Mets. Citi Field in Queens, the scene, the first of a 3-game series. The Mets hosting the San Diego Padres. And Matt Kemp has been a monster to the Metropolitans, a .337 lifetime average against the Mets. And for New York, Daniel Murphy, he's a tough out and tough to strike out. #1 in the National League, toughest to beat fan. As we welcome you to New York, and the first of 3, the Padres and the Mets. The Mets are only 2 games out of first place. Well, we're still floating on cloud 9. Great to be back to cover the Padres tonight with Mark Grant and a 3-game winning streak.
Dick, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
A job well done in Cooperstown. And you know what I just thought of?
What?
This is your first game as a Hall of Famer. How does it feel? The Big Apple?
Wow.
Cooperstown, New York City? Big League Baseball.
It goes on and on. The greatest weekend of my life. We can talk about that later.
And your speech was perfect, I might add. But yeah, it's an important 3-game series for this San Diego Padre team here in New York.
Let's hope James Shields is perfect tonight.
Yeah, because, you know, the offense for the New York Mets is really not doing well. The pitching has been the name for these Metropolitans. So let's talk about pitching and James Shields. June 3rd against the Mets. What did he have working? He only had 4 strikeouts, but when he had the ball around the plate, they put it in play, weak grounders. One stressful inning, the command was on. 7 innings, only 6 hits, and the double play ball was huge for James Shields. Another big key is no home runs that game for James Shields.
And young 22-year-old Noah Syndergaard. The Padres beat him handily at Petco 7-2.
These Mets are really going to have a rotation for many years to come as far as they are concerned. The last 5 starts, the 1.59 ERA. What does he possess? He can get the fastball to about 99 miles an hour. He's consistently above 95, but a snappy curveball, a slider, and changeup. But this kid, for a power pitcher, he's around the plate pretty much, so it's going to be a challenge for the Padre hitters.
A lot of introductions going on in the New York Mets clubhouse. They have 3 new players.
Yeah, and you know what? Terry Collins, the manager of the New York Mets, is really trying to make things up. Sandy Alderson as well. Johnson, Uribe, you know, he's a winner. He's been on winning teams. They got them from the Braves. And the offense, they need some punch. The worst in the National League at 3.5. And this bodes poorly for the pitching staff because they don't get much to work with, but the numbers they're putting up with the ERA, they're doing all with the pitching, and then they always need bullpen help.
And Tyler Clippert comes over from the A's.
Yeah, Tyler Clippert, you know, he's been in the big leagues for a long time. He is a veteran out there. He's a good pitcher, got a really good changeup, so bolstering that bullpen for the New York Mets.
Well, you need a scoreboard these days and a scorecard to know who's playing with whom. How about the Padres? Trade rumors flying around the San Diego Ball Club as to who might be dealt elsewhere. And how do the Padres themselves feel in that clubhouse about all those rumors? Chris Button with a story when we return to New York. energy shots. Have you tried great tasting 5-Hour Energy lately? By Petco, what we feed them matters. By Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic or butter. And by SeaWorld. Discover the wonder of the sea.
Welcome back. After a day off in the city, it is back to baseball for the Padres. Game 1 of a 3-game series here against the Mets. And there's only a couple more days until the trade deadline, but every time you open the internet, there's a new rumor, a new name swirling around, a lot about these Padres. And the one name you see a lot is Justin Upton. So I asked him how he's handling the uncertainty.
You hear your name being tossed around, you hear what teams are interested, but you have to focus your energy on being professional and going out and playing the game every night and helping your team win. That's my place out there, and standing in left field and being in the box. That's the time where you don't have to worry about it. So you come and prepare yourself and get to get on the field and have that free time yourself.
So the only thing that matters right now for Upton is being in a Padres uniform and providing some run support for James Shields, the ace in the Big Apple, on the mound for the Padres. First pitch coming up from Citi Field when we return.
Back.
What else do you expect as we go, fans, to the Saquon Pick the Stick? Weigh in on Twitter for a chance to win a free foursome of golf, courtesy of Saquon Golf Resort. Just hashtag I'm with, last name of the broadcaster you want to join forces with. If they win, you win too. One random winner selected nightly. Follow us at Fox Sports San Diego for more details. And here are the picks tonight. I'm going with Upton. Mark Grant Solarte. Norris is in the Mike Pomeranz camp. Mark Sweeney likes Venable, and Chris Button goes with Matt Kemp, who has had great success against this Mets team throughout his career. And we look at the batting order for the Padres, brought to you by Toyota. Venable, Solarte, and Kemp, the first three. Then Upton, Alonso, and Norris. Jerko, Amarista, and Shields. And here's the first pitch of the game by Syndergaard in there. A strike at 97 miles an hour. He's only 22, Syndergaard. And he's a flamethrower, and he shows that right off the bat. Venable takes low, 1-1. 6 home runs for Venable. Syndergaard, you see all that hair and his heritage. His nickname is Thor. A very strong young man. Foul tip, 1-2. He squats 460 pounds in the gymnasium. That's where your power comes, down there in those legs.
And the ham hocks and the power arm. This kid has got the great physique to pitch in the big leagues for a long time. You pretty much know what you're going to get. The fastball, get up to about 99. He's got a pretty good curveball as well.
Foul back. You saw a shot of manager Pat Murphy. Since the All-Star break, the Padres are 6-3 and won the last 3 to close out the homestand against the Marlins. The Mets have one of the sparkling home records in all of baseball. And a swing and a miss. He can't find the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And time now for the Mets scouting report, brought to you by Sleep Train.
Well, we just saw one of the pitches of that power arm, the fastball above 95. So there's the fastball range, 93 to 99. He throws a curveball, changeup, and a slider. Boy, I tell you what, an abundance of good arms in this Met rotation.
And on the DL.
Yes.
They're loaded. Solarte batting .247. He takes a 97-mile-an-hour strike. Now here's the Padres' toughest player to strike out. In fact, 6th most difficult to fan in the National League. Let's see how he fares against Syndergaard. Boy, inside corner.
No, not only 97, but he's got some movement as well to go along with that 97.
Quickly in front of Solarte. Jan hitting .247 with 5 homers. Backs him off. Umpiring crew, C.B. Buckner calling balls and strikes with Dale Scott, James Hoy, and Lance Barrett on the bases. Breaking ball. Boy, that's a power adjustment from 97 as a hitter. You got to go after a breaking ball at 83. He almost offers you, shows you that. Doesn't have to throw it seriously for a strike. Solarte, a good hitter from the left side. 2-2.
For the last 7 starts for Syndergaard versus lefties, they're only hitting 179. I think I see why as Matt Kemp waits on deck. He's not afraid to throw that 2-seam fastball into lefties, tie him up a little bit, and then try to go down and away. Like right there.
Another foul.
After a couple pitches in, moving the feet of Solarte, trying to peck away at that outside corner.
Padres start tonight 8.5 behind the Dodgers and a half game behind Arizona for 3rd place. Boy, how about the Giants? They've won 12 of 13. They're only a half game back of the Dodgers. Breaking ball, and Solarte spoils another. And the Mets defense tonight brought to you by SeaWorld. And here they are in the outfield. The rookie Conforto just called up. Neuenhuis back as a Met, and Granderson and right. Uribe, Tejada, Murphy, and Duda around the horn. Plawecki behind the plate. Ground ball or line drive skids off the roof of the Mets dugout and into the crowd.
Dick, I think we're seeing why you just mentioned it, why Solarte is so hard to strike out. Syndergaard's trying to throw fastballs and foul them off. Breaking balls, pulling them, fouling them over the dugout.
Already working up a lather in this hot, humid night. And he lines this one to center field and into the glove. As Neuenhuis grabs the 2nd out here in the 1st inning. And that brings up Matt Kemp. 11 home runs, leads the team in RBIs now with 54. And Kemp is 6th in the league and most multi-hit games. He has 31 multi-hit games, just 5 behind the leader, Joey Votto of Cincinnati, and he swings at the first pitch and sends that into souvenir territory. 3 hits away from 100 to be the first Padre to hit the century mark. And Justin Upton on deck. 2 strikes now on Kemp. Boy, not only is Syndergaard showing the 97-mile-an-hour fastball, he's in the corners.
Yeah, that's the thing for a power pitcher. He's pretty much somewhat around the plate.
Well, he gets the call just off the edge, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Syndergaard.
That one well, back to back, and it's hit well out to right field. That's going to be a run scoring hit. The Padres have won 3 consecutive games.
And Padres closing out that series with 3 in a row, a 3-1, 3-1, and 3-2 victories. Here's the Mets lineup tonight, brought to you by Hyundai. Gary Collins has them hitting in this order: Granderson, then Tejada, Daniel Murphy. You can see there's no 300 hitter, although Conforto at 444, just because he's only been up 9 times. Duda in the cleanup spot. Uribe, the new third baseman in New York. Conforto, Neuenhuis, Plawecki, the catcher, and Syndergaard.
Oh, this lineup's got to lead the league in letters and last names. My goodness.
Curtis Granderson takes ball 1 as James Shields goes to work, looking for his 9th win of the year. Granderson hitting .251 with 14 home runs. Shift on, a line drive, base hit left field. Upton plays it back. Granderson, a solid single to left, to open things for the Mets. And now the Padres scouting report, brought to you by the Tilted Kilt.
Oh, James Shields on the mound. 22nd start for James. Hey, he needs some quick innings. Last time out he only went 5 innings. That's because the old National League bug got him. It was a 1-0 deficit, and he was pulled for a pinch hitter, and get to the 7th, hopefully, for James Shields.
Shortstop Ruben Tejada at 257. He checks in. Infield squared away, double play position. Outfield gives him left center. The pitches that Syndergaard got strikes called, not working so far for Shields. Couple of home runs for Tejada. Chopped at the plate. Well, we throw a lot of statistics at you. That's the nature of this game of baseball, and links us back to generations past. But if you want one statistic that really stands out, it's if the Mets score just 4 runs. If they score 4 this year in 41 games, they lost 5 times. 36-5. You got to hold them. They're not a big run scoring team or hot hitting team. They win with pitching. And Shields is going to have to match young Syndergaard tonight. And 1-2 the count. A look at the Padres defense, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Upton, Venable, and Kemp in the outfield. How long will Justin Upton wear that SD? Solarte, Amarista, Churko, and Alonso in the infield, with Norris behind the plate for Shields. Shields ahead on the count. Strikeout pitcher, number 3 in the league with 144. That lifted foul off first.
Well, the running game is really not big for Terry Collins and the Mets. They rank 13th in stolen base category, these Mets. Although Granderson is number 1 in that category with 9 steals. Not a big lead for Granderson. We take a look at Terry.
Native of Midland, Michigan. His 5th year here as the skipper of the Mets. He's got them just 2 games out of first.
Very short lead for Granderson at first.
And another foul. So Tejada is doing to Shields what Solarte was to Syndergaard. Foul off, and foul off another.
And the foul balls is nothing, you can't control that as a pitcher. You have to credit the hitter sometimes. We take a bird's eye view of where Tejada sets up in the box. Very close to that back foot to the line, the inside part of the plate.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, it's quite remarkable that the Mets can be last in the National League in runs scored, last in batting average, and yet be only 2 games out of first place. Yeah, makes you wonder, Pat Murphy. And another foul. On a hot, humid night, that's got to bug the pitcher, doesn't it?
No question about it. That is a workload. You throw 30 pitches in 2 innings, that's 15 each inning. Well, you get a little bit of blow in between. You get up around 25-30 on a night like this. Yeah, it'll kick your tail. See what Derek Norris puts down here. Change up. He'll throw it any time. We know that.
Inside, Norris had trouble catching it cleanly. No advance by Granderson, so a full count. So a look at the National League standings with the Mets just 2 off the pace of the Nats. The wild card side looks like Pittsburgh in the driver's seat with San Francisco the other team now, but the Cubs are there, so are the Mets. And Arizona only 7.5 out of a wild card. Padres are 8 games out. See if Granderson goes. He does. Ground ball back to the mound to second base. Led Amarista to a 6-3 double play. Made to order. Talk about a room service double play with the runner going. Amarista was covering, and it was almost a little pepper ground ball to the shortstop.
And it gets a smile out of Amarista and a smile out of James Shields. He made a good pitch.
Good thing he didn't get a piece of the ball coming back through the middle. He tried to.
His first reaction was just that, Dick, between his legs, but a perfect top to Alexi and plenty of room to spare. Ticket Tejada.
I still love the double play.
Oh, yeah.
So does James Shields on this occasion. Here's Daniel Murphy. He is the toughest in the National League to strike out. Yet batting only .272. Has had good success against the Padres this year. Their series at Petco. 1-1. Sharply hit into left field, base hit. Oh, thank you, double play. It comes with 2 outs and the base is empty.
I was just going to say, with a guy like Murphy, it was tough to strike out. You bet that's the way to face him with the bases empty. That's why he's batting third. He can put the ball in play, and this is a ball that Murphy really stays on well. Hardly even a stride, just picks up that front foot, sets it down. Very wide stance, and hits that ball exactly where it was pitched to the left side.
Yeah, that is a picture of a good hitter going with the pitch. All right. Cleanup man Lucas Duda checks in with a low batting average, but he's tied for the club lead in home runs with Granderson with a 14. Shift is on. Churko moves out into shallow right. Strike one. David Wright, they hope that he might be back in September, the captain of the Mets, with the third base position not featuring Murphy. Mets go after Uribe.
Yeah, that's a tough blow for the New York Mets as Murphy goes back to his position at second base since they acquired Uribe with the absence of David Wright.
Duda. High fly ball deep to center field. That ball is carrying long and gone. Duda, number 15. The 21st home run of the year offered by James Shields, and Duda gives the Mets an early 2-0 lead.
Looks like a two-seamer he tried to bury in, and Duda gets his hands to boy that high leg kick, getting the kick start.
That was way back in right center field bleachers. Well, a double play saved even more serious damage. Mets in front, and here's Uribe, their newest acquisition. He's gone from the Dodgers to Atlanta, here to the Mets, and with Atlanta had 2 game-winning hits against the Dodgers, comes here to the Mets, and he had the game winner on Sunday. One and one. It's 4:08 to straightaway center here at Citi Field, and that ball must have been at least 430 that Duda hit. Breaking ball popped off first. Alonso has a play, and the inning comes to an end, but Lucas Duda doing what cleanup hitters are supposed to do, homers, and it's 2-0.
Myers met with doctors the other day about his wrist. He had begun a swinging program but had felt some soreness, so they went and met with the surgeon just as a precaution. The good news is that it's just general soreness. There's no damage to it. He had an exam, so he will take about the next 5 to 6 days off and then have re-examine and then decide if they can begin a hitting program. But the good news is that they were afraid that soreness could be some extra damage, but the good news is that it was just precautionary, just general soreness from not using that wrist very much.
Well, let's hope we can get Will Myers back at that top of the batting order. It was a different team with him in the lineup. Justin Upton, 16 homers now, and he takes the ball away 1-1.
Boy, Dick, what really hurts about that last home run off Lucas to it. 0-2. James Shields had him 0-2 and just couldn't get that two-seamer in. And got extended on him.
Ooh, a nasty hook. 1-2.
Pretty much fastball curveball for Syndergaard. He'll flip up a slider and a changeup as well.
Works quickly, this young guy out of Mansfield, Texas. You could see catcher Plawecki wanted to try to tease Upton to go after a high fastball. Ground ball, third baseman Uribe for the first out here in the second. Well, the Troy Tulowitzki trade to Toronto certainly has raised some eyebrows. LaTroy Hawkins also goes to the Blue Jays, and Jose Reyes, a former Met, on to Colorado.
Yeah, Troy Tulowitzki, probably about a handful of years left on that big contract of his. Jose Reyes, will he stay in Colorado? Will they flip him somewhere? And LaTroy Hawkins, he's all reliable. Reliable arm out of the bullpen now for the Jays.
The ageless one, Hawkins, 42 now. Here's Alonso, homered in the Marlins series. Leading batting average for the Padres at 283. Shift on. Dramatically so.
Yeah, only student body right.
Uribe's closer to second than third, daring Alonso to go to left field. Eased up, 96.
Yeah, you know, in our pregame we talked about Syndergaard and his record and ERAs. You take a look at the shift, balls in play, Yonder Alonso using the big part of the field, 22% up the gut.
Lays off. He walks second most to Upton, 31 walks, so his on base percentage is .370. He doesn't qualify, not enough at bats, but he would be number 8 in the National League on base percentage.
We're getting a change up here.
Ground ball, the first baseman Duda made to order for the second out. Let's take a look at the keys to the game tonight, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Okay, hey, go ahead, bite the big apple. Don't mind the maggots. A little Rolling Stones there. Meaning, you know, take a bite out of this Mets pitching staff, hopefully. There's no offense, it's all pitching, and James shields the Mets offense. Bad offense for the New York Mets. Bad average, not scoring a lot of runs. Hopefully they can, James Shields can plow through this lineup.
As an old apple farmer, I got to correct you just a little bit.
What's that?
We didn't call them maggots.
No?
We called them just worms, and my dad said that make the best cider. Those are the apples that made, you put a little protein in the cider. Yeah, those are the windfalls. A little worm in there, never hurt anybody.
Hey, if it's good for them, it's good for you, right?
Right. It was tasty. Who knew? Derek Norris hitting .229 now as his average continues to dip. Hard to believe it's the man that was hitting .300 after April.
Well, catching is one tough duty. We know that, especially at the big league level. You got to strap on the gear. You got to tackle the heat. You got to swing that shillelagh.
And he works the count 3-0, but against Syndergaard at home, this is what happened. Got a breaking ball and sent it deep. One of his 11 home runs this year.
Well, the hanging breaking stuff and the fastball. Remember that the Padres got on Syndergaard in San Diego. It'll be interesting to see how Syndergaard goes after Derek Norris. And a couple of factors, like you said, it's late in the season, the numbers are dipping. Why try to speed up his bat with a breaking ball? That was a good fastball right there.
3-1.
Fastball away.
And that ball fouled off. Again at 97. He's been consistently at that 97 mark.
Pretty good command with that type of velocity. And there's the line back on June 2nd in the loss to the Padres. They got to him.
Worst outing of the year for the young man from Texas. Picked by Toronto 5 years ago as a 17-year-old. Traded here to the Mets. Soft fly ball on the infield, and Duda with a big glove collects it. Syndergaard 6 up, 6 down. 2-0 Mets. Fan photo. Use hashtag SD Data StrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming telecast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Hey, the spin stops here. We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Michael Conforto, the 22-year-old rookie outfielder. They're really high on this kid. And has he ever progressed in a hurry? He had to go in the back of the Mets media guide to find him, and there's literally nothing on him except his height and weight and the fact he's 22. He was a first-round pick, mind you, last year, 10th overall, jumping to the big leagues in 1 year. 4 for 9 so far, and an RBI in each of the 3 games that he's played.
Well, one thing I like to do when we come to New York, I like to talk to Keith Hernandez, one of the best first basemen that I ever saw play, and as a hitter. And Keith said this kid does everything right at the plate. He's a line drive hitter. He's got a great idea. Defensively, hey, there's Keith on the left and Ron Darling on the right.
2-1 on the changeup.
And you know what, Dick, and you know Keith Hernandez, the type of career he had. If he says this kid's looking good at the plate, he's got a good idea, I think Keith Hernandez knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. Just off the plate on that last pitch. 2-1. Alonso off his glove, and an error on Yonder. Couple of high hops. Yonder acting almost like he thought that was going to go foul.
Yeah, you look at the reaction of Yonder. That is a ball that's got to be made. He would even say that himself. I think he may have thought, get caught in between a little bit. Do I kind of charge this one? He elected to play it on the big hop. And that is an E3, as you mentioned, Dick. E3. And as a pitcher, you have to erase that, try to work for another ground ball to get a double play.
Kirk Neuenhuis has been a Met, then wandered away and now back in that New York uniform and has done well since recalled. 371 average. Takes a fastball for a strike. Last 4 games, Neuenhuis has delivered 6 runs batted in. They count those things here when you're the lowest run scoring ball club in the National League. In the minor leagues last year, Conforto in 42 games stole only 3 bases. He hit .331 at A-ball at Brooklyn. Conforto.
I'll tell you what, this is what baseball and sports is all about when you look at Neuenhuis, right? Designated for assignment, been with a different team, down to the minor leagues, come full circle back to the Mets, and making the opportunity shine for this kid. That tells me, you know what, never give up. You keep this positive attitude. How quickly it can go badly, it can change for the good as well.
In the dirt, it's remindful of Chris Heston, the right-handed pitcher,
Yes.
27 years of age with the Giants. He was designated. Anyone could have taken him. No one did. He goes back to the Giants, and now he's one of the top young pitchers in the National League. 10 wins already.
He was designated by the Mets back in May, traded to the Angels. Designated for assignment by LA Angels and then claimed off waivers by the Mets, and he's putting together good numbers.
2 balls and a strike. Ground ball to second, could be another double play. Jerko to Amarista, back to first. Double play. 2 innings, 2 double plays. 4, 6, 3.
Well, after an error, a pitcher has to forget about that. Nobody wants to make bad plays or make errors behind your pitcher, but James Shields concentrates, gets a ground ball, and Yonder Alonso squeezes that one.
Perfect feed. Look at where that feed is to Amarista, right to his throwing side on the glove transfer, and he's able to fire on for the double play. Ballet around second base.
Love it.
Kevin Plawecki, the rookie catcher, hitting .232. Travis DiArno, the starting catcher for the Mets at the beginning of the year, elbow problems, and he's now rehabbing in the minors. He's going to rejoin the club shortly, and that ball grounded into left field. 4th hit for the Mets. Brings up the pitcher, Syndergaard. Not a bad hitter, by the way. 5 for 25, Syndergaard, and a home run.
Yeah, one of those pitchers throws right, bats left. Remember Randy Johnson, the Hall of Famer, threw left, batted right. One of those little oddities, but this kid, look at his setup, the way he swings the bat. He's a pretty good athlete.
Over but low on the fastball. Final minutes of a very warm but sunny day in New York. Swing and a miss. A reminder that tonight's game is presented in HD by Sony 4K. 2 away, Plawecki with a single at first base. One and 2. Changeup. Well, that shows the respect that Shields has for the pitcher.
He's not messing around with Syndergaard.
So we go for the young right-hander to the veteran right-hander Bartolo Colon tomorrow night. Colon is 9-9, pretty high ERA of 4.60. He draws Tyson Ross. Our TV time again at 4 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego. Two and two, and a line drive to Alonso. Yeah, he can swing the stick. No runs, a hit, an error. It's still 2-0 New York.
A great friend of mine for over 50 years of my career, and never have those two words expressed more personal joy than at this very moment. Man, I thought I'd get all the way to the end before I started to get emotional. Scully called me when the announcement was made, and he said, only one piece of advice, Enberg, no crying at Cooperstown.
And Tom Gage's speech that preceded me, he won the Spink Award for sports writing. It was so emotional, his speech, that I was emoting after he sat down. I wasn't even into my speech, and I was already feeling ready to break down. But I got through all the rest, so the Scully gave me good advice.
And it was perfect. And I have this question for you. Did it seem like it went like in a flash from start to finish? Did it seem like it just went right before?
You mean the speech itself?
Speech, yeah.
No. I
seemed like a long time? Really?
I labored through it.
Really?
I really did. I kept thinking, am I going too long? Maybe I should have put more humor into it.
It didn't seem like it. It was perfect.
Oh, thank you. Jed Jerko leads off the third. Jerko, Amarista, and Shields. Padres trying to get a base runner against Syndergaard. He's retired the first 6 in order.
I didn't see one bead of sweat coming down your forehead.
No, I don't perspire.
Cool as a cucumber.
No, I was actually a little shaky down below. I just want to thank everyone in the audience who cared about the honor. And I'm very sincere in saying this. I've never in my life been so well loved as this past weekend. Not just by my family that was there and friends, but the Hall of Famers and you fans, and I can't thank everyone enough.
Well, like I told you on the way in, Dick, we were walking into the ballpark today. It's amazing how, there's a lot of sports fans out there, not only baseball, but other sports, which you have covered, and how you've impacted people. And as they sat down on their couch or their chair and watched an event, they saw your voice, and you were the voice of my childhood growing up. So well deserved.
Jerko, the third strikeout victim. Well, it was just from the time we landed in Albany, it was very special. I mean, everything was clockwork. My barber and I treated like royalty. And Tom Catlin, our great cinematographer, was along with us and followed us into that beautiful village of Cooperstown. Folks, if you ever get a chance to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, don't miss out. It's just a fabulous little village, beautiful. And the museum, you could spend 3 days there and not see it all. Amarista takes inside. And, what surprised, there were a lot of surprises, but I didn't expect, in fact, when I signed a ball, I signed it Hall of Fame 15 FF for the Ford Frick Award, because I'm not in the Hall of Fame. I'm as a ball player, him and I'm separate. They call us honorees, not inductees. But every Major League Hall of Famer that I met right away was, welcome to the fraternity. You're in the Hall of Fame with us. They didn't treat me like a second-class citizen. And that embrace from all my heroes. Hey, I can still have heroes at age 80, can't I?
Absolutely, you can. That's what's great about sports.
Yes, especially about this game.
Yep.
Off the fist, a soft roller to Murphy. And Amarista gone. That's 8 straight for Syndergaard. Time now for the top tier player profile, brought to you by Arco. As we look at the 67 rookie season of Tom Seaver. How about that? At age 22, he went 16-13, and look at the complete games.
It's unbelievable. It really is. Tom Seaver, Hall of Famer, one of my favorite pitchers growing up as a kid. 16-13 in the innings pitched back, 250 innings. That was probably on the low end, and his number retired, the Hall of Famer.
Good friend and colleague for some of the games on NBC. As Shields takes strike one, and he touched my heart along with many others. Tom said, I came back. He's got Lyme's disease, and that's not a very happy malady at all. He said, I came back because I wanted to honor you, Enberg. And that, that's the kind of I'm talking about.
Sure.
My God, Tom Seaver, Dick Enberg, what's missing in this picture? 1-1. And Lyme's disease, if you don't know much about it, it affects your memory. And Tom, on several occasions over the weekend, had to apologize. He said, I don't even remember that. I mean, something that just happened a few hours before, and it's just enough to break your heart.
Heartbreaking, yeah.
Outside corner again. Oh, Buckner's been generous on that outside pitch. 2-2. And 4 strikeouts for Syndergaard. Perfect through 3. It's the Mets in front, 2-0.
Bottom of the third, I'm up here on the Shea Bridge, and the guys got to spend a day off in the city yesterday, and a lot of them brought their families on this trip, and most spent the day just kind of walking around, seeing the sights, going over to the World Trade Center and going up the towers. A lot of the guys, the big deal was getting a nice dinner last night. I know Dave Roberts brought his family. They went and saw Phantom of the Opera. A lot of shopping as well. Andrew Kashner, big shopping spree for, well, it wasn't really for him. It was actually for someone else. We'll show you a little bit of what he bought later on, but a nice day off in the big city, gentlemen.
Oh, there's a great tease there. What did Kashner buy? I'm assuming it's for someone in the Padre family. Was it Mark or was it me? Maybe we're going to
stay tuned. ...
Okay. Bottom of the third, top of the order. Curtis Granderson singled to left field his first time. was erased on Tejada's double play ball, but then Murphy singled and Duda homered to right center, and the Mets lead 2-0. Granderson walks more than any Met, and he strikes out more. He's reached safely now in 12 consecutive games. And checks his swing.
Okay, Professor, I got another Hall of Fame question for you.
All right.
Who was the one Hall of Famer player where when you saw him you were like, wow?
Well, first of all, wow, because Nolan Ryan was such an important part of my years with the Angels. I mean, he was the guy in his 4 no-hitters that I had the privilege to call. But the wow guy in terms of presence and looks. Ground ball right side into shallow right is Jerko to take a hit away. Boy, that is robbery. The shift denies Granderson what would have been a sure base hit.
Put a little star next to that play, and that's a star that the late great Jerry Coleman would be loving right about now. Jed Jerko with the shift on. No room for error. One swift move. The grab, the throw, and the nice pick by Yonder Alonso. That's a big out with Tejada, Murphy, Duda coming up for the Mets. Watch him swipe at it in the glove right now, and they get Granderson.
Good play. Jerko not only in right field and right center field. Here's Tejada grounded into a 6-3 double play. So to answer your question, you know, in terms of just appearance and seeing all these great Hall of Famers, the man that, you know, just when he walked into the room, it just everyone seemed to stop. I mean, his looks, his presence, and even at his age, so handsome. Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson. In a nice little moment, Pedro Martinez. I was there talking to Pedro, and this is the luxury of being in the hotel there. You just met everyone. They included you. You had conversations and laughter. Foul ball. And Gibson comes up, and Pedro, you almost have to be on camera to show it, but he turns his head and gives it that evil eye. He said, when I was young, you were my hero, and I learned to give that hitter the evil eye, as if to say, you really want to stand there? And then Gibson had a chuckle, and they went on with the conversation, and finished with Martinez saying, on my back, number 45, Pedro Martinez.
Oh,
same.
Bob Gibson. That's right. Yeah,
I had never thought of that.
Wow, I never did either.
One of the many nuggets. 2-2 to Tejada. There's a base hit past third into the corner. Upton will dig it out, and by the time he gets it in, Tejada is perched at second with a double. 5 hits now for the Mets.
Oh, this looks like a changeup out of the hand of James Shields. And when we take a look at this pitch, Derek Norris is set up inside. It is a changeup. Boy, Tejada does a nice job. Hands through and in between Solarte and the bag. You know, off-speed pitch in. That's a tough pitch to keep fair. Somehow, some way, Tejada does just that for the double.
Well, the Mets here in the third threaten to add to their 2-0 lead. And here's Murphy. Sent a solid single to left field his first time. And Duda followed with a 2-run homer. 300 hitter with men in scoring position. Right field. That'll send Kemp back to make the catch. Ball carrying really well tonight. And over to third is Tejada with 2 outs. Brings up Duda. Kemp had to get back in a hurry. That ball was sailing deep. Oh, there's been no argument about the defense at the corners from Kemp and Upton. In fact, between them, they have 15 assists. That would lead the National League, that combination. Kemp, the overall leader, with 9. Change up low. Mets are without Michael Kadire, one of their top hitters. He's on the DL. Low again. No doubt about the home run in the first inning. Get out the tape measure halfway back in right center. His 15th of the year.
Yeah, 0-2 mistake. Tried to bury the two-seamer. Just didn't get it in enough.
Two balls and a strike. Duda was a relatively late pick by the Mets in 2007, the 7th round. So you figure over 200 players had been selected before him. Sharply hit, and Alonso with the big glove snares it. And the inning comes to an end. The one-out double by Tejada. No damage. It's still 2-0.
To focus on Will Venable in the 9th inning Sunday against the Marlins. Look where he's playing on the short side of second base. Now you got to come in. He's on his horse. How far does he go? Racking up 45 feet. He dives. It was a 3-2 game, one-run game, and Craig Kimbrell, you know, we talk about saves. That was a save, and Kimbrell racked up his 29th. So a nice grab by Will Venable.
45 feet. That was a 15-yard comeback for the catch.
Very nice.
First down.
Yeah, move the chains.
Okay, Venable leads off the 4th. The Padres have yet to get Syndergaard into the stretch. He's retired all 9, and a strike taken by Venable, who struck out the first time. No walks, 4 strikeouts for the 22-year-old. Inside. Like so many of the Padres, Venable's name tossed around in the trade rumors. Very valuable outfielder, left-handed bat. Ties him up 1-2. I hope Chris Button didn't forget about Andrew Kashner's shopping spree here in New York. Yeah, she never forgets. No. What am I thinking? Up the middle and line drive, soft line drive, and Syndergaard able to make the play. Okay, let's go to Chris Button.
I hope I made you wait just enough, Dick. So yesterday, Andrew Kashner walking around and decided to go to a costume store and get a cape for Austin Hedges, who during early batting practice today had to take practice wearing the cape. He also had a crown too, but it didn't really fit with the whole hat thing going on. The reason is because Kashner thinks that he looks like the Burger King king. So you can kind of see the similarities. Which Mark Grant, last year weren't we saying Blaine Boyer looks like the Burger King?
Yes, good call, good story there. And Andrew Kashner, this is the great thing about baseball, having some fun at the yard. And how about Austin Hedges wearing the cape?
He does look like the Burger King.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you, Chris.
Do as a rookie.
But to take BP with it.
Solarte lined to center. The only ball hit fairly well off Syndergaard. And there's a change way out in front.
You know, you mentioned Nolan Ryan's name as we take a look at the career versus the Mets at 5 games for Solarte. Nolan Ryan came up as a New York Met. He wore number 34. Syndergaard sporting number 34.
Well, he's a Texan.
Yeah.
And Ryan was from Texas, of course. Alvin, Texas.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of pitchers wear 34. Admiration of the flamethrower that didn't have a lot of success here. He was wild as a Met. But boy, when he went to the Angels, did he become a superstar.
Came up in 1966, Nolan Ryan did, as a 19-year-old.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. Well, there's a rare strike out of Solarte, but it's called. He thought it was out of the zone. Number 5 for Syndergaard.
Well, using both sides of the plate, flipping up the slider, and inside the glove you see the grip. What's the rotation? It's a 2-seamer, and it comes back and hits that inside corner. Good extension, good power with those legs.
Good frame by Plawecki. 11 in a row for Syndergaard. Here's Matt Kemp. He struck out looking his first time. Breaking ball on the corner. Boy, he's hitting the edges.
Got a game break coming up. Nationals Marlins from South Florida. Stay tuned for that one.
Down the right field line and shallow. Long run for Duda, and he makes the play in foul territory. 4 perfect innings for Noah Syndergaard. 2-0 Mets. All right, thank you, Mike. And Uribe leads it off with a sky-high fly ball to center field, 1 away. It's one of the points I wanted to make in my speech with John Smoltz being inducted, that it's important and meaningful that Tommy John, the pitcher, who had great numbers both before and after surgery, surgically brought Tommy John into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Smoltz did.
Yeah.
First Tommy John pitcher to make it to Cooperstown. Hey, you look at Tommy John, not the surgery, Tommy John's pitching record. It's stunning.
Remarkable career.
Rookie Michael Conforto, safe on the air by Alonso his first time. Hey, we're going to see that if the rotation stays, it would be his turn. Jose Fernandez Sunday in the Sunday game in Miami. They ducked Fernandez in the home series, but they're going to see him to conclude the 3 games on the weekend. It'll be his turn to pitch. Two and one to young Conforto. Doesn't like the egg. Give me a new one. Conforto is a native of Seattle. Still lives up in the Emerald State. Bouncer up the middle. Ranging is Jerko. He's got to hurry and gets him. A couple of good plays made by Jerko tonight at the second sack. 2 away.
Well, that first step is so important, especially reading the ball off the bat, whether to go in, right, or your left. And this is one of those plays where throwing across his body, going away from the play at first base, still throws accurately to get the out.
It's like a good skeet shooter. You've got to anticipate as you're moving to the right. You got to throw backwards so that your momentum is going to carry the ball to the first baseman. Fouled back by Neuenhuis. He grounded into a 4-6-3 double play the first time. 2-0 here in the series opener on the 2-run home run by Lucas Duda in the first inning for the Mets. One and one here in July. That's a nice addition to the lineup. 371 and 3 homers. Good fastball, a little extra at 92. The Mets with a sterling record at home. They're 34-16.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, only St. Louis has a better home record. Jerko, a busy man. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Shields. Coming up in the top of the 5th, Padres looking for their first base runner. It'll be Justin Upton leading off. Upton with his 16 home runs to lead the club. He'll be followed by Alonso and Norris. Baseball brought to you by Saquon Casino, only 25 miles from Petco Park, and by Sony Action Cam. Catch all the action of every day. With Mark Grant and Chris Budden, Dick Enberg here at Citi Field in Queens, New York. Young Noah Syndergaard pitching a beauty. 4 perfect innings as Justin Upton steps up, grounded to third his first time. Strike 1. No walks, 5 strikeouts for Syndergaard. Padres need to get him at least into the stretch.
Boy, he's really doing a fine job of peppering away at that outside corner. Corner control, corner command to the right-handed hitters.
Right at the knees.
Yep.
60th pitch coming up from the young right-hander. Did he go? No. Pretty close. Good thing Mark Grant is an umpiring at first base.
Well, let's take a look. This is so hard to lay off. High heat. You know what's amazing about the ball was nearly in the glove before his bat didn't even stop. That's how late he was on it.
And he struck out anyway. Number 6. Brings up Yonder Alonso. Grounded out to first, his only at bat.
Well, you have to look for the fastball and adjust to the breaking ball. Easier said than done because Syndergaard goes against Upton. First pitch down right at the knees, strike 1. Down right at the knees, strike 2. Okay, now he tries to fish upstairs, checks his swing. Okay, try squaring up that slider down or away. That's tough. You see the grip. Watch Syndergaard work around that baseball, get that spin. And once again, not only the fastball location, but that slider as well.
One of his favorite TV shows, Syndergaard said, is Breaking Bad. Well, that was a bad looking breaker for a hitter.
That's a good one. Absolutely.
Shift on for Alonso. Uribe halfway between second and third. Oh, he hasn't thrown many fastballs down the middle, has he?
No. If they're down the middle, they're right at the knees. We saw a couple of those to Upton. But you're right, Dick. Not like belt buckle high. You're absolutely right.
Yes, working the perimeter of the strike zone. That's one of the few well out of the zone. 2-1. And the first 3-ball count. No, I'll take that back. Norris went 3-0. And Norris is on deck. But eventually popped out to first.
Got to go fastball here, I would think.
And it's fly ball to left field. Right at Conforto. Up a couple of steps. There's 2 away. Our closed captioning for tonight's game brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Norris. Pop fly to the first baseman, Duda. Syndergaard, he's a big kid. He's 6'6" and 242 pounds.
That's a keeper.
And yet Toronto didn't keep him.
Isn't that amazing?
They threw him into a trade with Travis DiArno, the catcher, and John Buck, another catcher, for the R.A. Dickey knuckleballer. And it looks as if the Mets are going to come out on top in that trade. At a total battery. Nothing but strikes.
Well, time now to check the Cholula flamethrower, and with Syndergaard out on the hill, we know he's got the hot stuff at 98. That's muy picante.
This crowd is starting to sense something is building toward a very dramatic final. They're going to try to help Syndergaard along. They're rooting for another strikeout. He's got 6 already. He's better than a strikeout per inning here in the majors. He's got 82 and 79 innings coming in. Luxury of working from the windup the entire game so far. Shakes off the catcher Plawecki. All around the edges.
Yep.
Well inside.
Hey, good pitch with a purpose, because off the plate, you want to miss there. You don't want to miss over the heart of the plate. And you know what? If I'm betting Dick, I'm saying he's going right back out here, the outside part of the plate, right about there, with a breaking ball.
And a ground ball to short. Tejada gobbles it up, throws him out.
Perfect through 5 is Noah Syndergaard.
Dodgers in a game you can only see on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
We're at the halfway mark in this one. 4.5 innings, 5 now for the pitcher Noah Syndergaard, and he has retired the side in order 5 consecutive innings. And now his teammates go to work with a 2-0 lead. Kevin Plawecki, then Syndergaard, and leadoff man Granderson. Plawecki single to left, a ground single his first time. Shields has made just one mistake, the 2-run homer to Lucas Duda back in the first inning. Keeping the Padres close, hope that they can get some base runners, change the rhythm of Syndergaard, and make him work from the stretch. Sometimes that makes a big difference. Well off the plate, 2-0. Again tomorrow night, game 2, 4 o'clock our TV time here on Fox Sports San Diego. Tyson Ross goes for his 7th win against Bartolo Colon, 9-9 for the Mets. Broken bat, fly ball to left field. Upton is there. 1 away. And that brings up Syndergaard. He blistered one, a line drive to first to Alonso, and the fans greeting Syndergaard's announcement, not applauding his hitting style, but what he's done so far against the Padre bats. .91 on the fastball. This isn't the Syndergaard that the Padres roughed up in early June at Petco. And they beat him. He allowed 7 runs. 0-2.
Well, it's a different Syndergaard, no doubt about that. The one thing that sticks out for me is location of that fastball, getting ahead, dropping that slider down and away, staying out of the heart of the plate, as you mentioned earlier, Dick.
Got him swinging, went to the breaking ball. And surprisingly for James Shields, a strikeout pitcher, that's his first tonight. Time now to take a look at the National University standings and the National League West. The Dodgers just a half game in front of San Francisco. The Giants winning 12 of 13 to climb so close. Arizona 8 back. The Padres 8.5. And then Colorado in the wild card. Arizona 7.5 out. The Padres, if we had a little more room, they're 8 back of the wild card.
You know, I think that wild card race could be one of the closer ones. 4-team race down to the wire. Those 4 teams that are in the race, they've got some serious potential to put a streak together, playing some good ball.
And a wild card often means a wild finish of the season. Just to check on what the Giants did last year as the wild card. Granderson is singled and grounded to second. 7 straight now retired by Shields.
Hey, stay focused and hold them to 2 runs, James Shields. That's his main objective. It was 1 pitch to Lucas Duda earlier for the 2-run shot. Nothing you can do about that. Try to get you back in the dugout, get some base runners.
Well, this is the century mark on the season schedule, the 100th game, 62 to go.
Now with 2 strikes, the Padres are going to change defensively on that shift.
Amarista stays on the left side, and Solarte moves from third over to the second base side. And a ground ball. Alonso will gobble that up, and another 1-2-3 inning for Shields. So through 5 innings, 2 runs for the Mets, no runs, no hits for the Padres. Stood a mammoth home run to deep right center field. His 15th of the year. 2-0 Mets. The only scoring. Meanwhile, Noah Syndergaard, a fastball, knee buckling curveball, control. He's all around the corners, around the perimeter of the zone, and he has struck out 6, walked none, and no hits going into the 6th inning. He's thrown 71 pitches. They'll face the bottom of the order: Jerko, Amarista, and Shields.
Talk about living on the edge. Noah Syndergaard is doing just that.
In some terms, that is a dangerous position to be on the edge, but for him, it's meant making the hitters of the Padres seem feeble.
Plus, it's a great song by Aerosmith.
Oh, there you go. That's why it's great on the edge. Aerosmith, yeah, hit the bullseye a lot.
Absolutely.
Love him. Jerko struck out the first time. One of the few times a first pitch ball. A ball and a strike.
First pitch breaky ball misses. Goes to the old reliable fastball down and away to even the count at 1-1.
Yeah, I want to thank Jesse Agler not only for sitting in while we went to Cooperstown, but I guess he really did some good work on Pick the Stick, huh?
He most certainly did.
I'm going to stay in close touch with him. Try to move up deep in the cellar. I am.
Yeah, Brett Wallace got to start at third base the other day, and he picked him. He had the last picked Brett Wallace, and he hit a home run for you.
Kid does his homework, you know. So ball 2 strikes on Jerko. Every time Syndergaard gets to 2 strikes, these fans start the rhythmic applause in the dirt. The one negative of being a strikeout pitcher is the pitch count. 75 pitches through 5 innings plus this one.
Line drive off Syndergaard, and it caroms right to the second baseman for the out. Oh, that's good luck. The ball hit hard by Jerko, and if it doesn't go off the pitcher Syndergaard, that's a base hit to center.
You see the positioning kind of swaying over a little bit on the pull side off Syndergaard, and then Murphy has to redirect. Still plenty of time for the 1-4-3. Wow.
Well, in the course of one of those special games pitched, you need good luck and good defense. Amarista grounded to second his first time. Another ground ball to Murphy. 2 away. And the noise, applause builds with each out. Syndergaard.
Well, remember back in June, back-to-back, it had never been done in baseball history. A pitcher going less than 5 innings, allowing more than 10 hits, and striking out 10 or more. And it happened. Cashner one night, and the next night, Syndergaard.
Just this game of baseball continues to amaze everybody. Something you'll never see. We've never seen it. We saw it back-to-back nights. That is hard to do.
That just is testimony to when you come to the ballpark, including tonight, you never know what you're going to see. Shields struck out swinging the first time. Oh, and 2. 98 against the opposing pitcher. And here comes the crowd again to their feet here at Citi Field.
You know, Dick, I remember games at Shea back in the 80s when Doc Gooden was on the mound. 2 strikes, everybody would get, it was just electric. It was electric. Everybody wanting to strike out.
Well, Syndergaard stirring those memories tonight. Six perfect innings. Capping it with his 7th strikeout. Stay tuned.
10th, 2010. Padres' John Garland gets Mets rookie Ruben Tejada on a grounder to third. Chase Headley stepped on the bag, threw to second baseman Lance Zawatsky. A triple play. The Padres have turned a total of 8 triple plays in franchise history, with the one in New York being the last in 2010. Well, he's kind of left alone. That's tradition. Not a time for conversation.
Oh, yeah, they're going to avoid him like the plague.
18 in a row retired by this 22-year-old flamethrower. Bottom of the 6th inning. Shields pitching a dandy.
Absolutely.
Just one mistake. The Duda 2-run homer in the first inning. He's retired the last 8 in a row. Will face Tejada, Murphy, and Duda here in the 6th.
He's done a fine job rolling some grounders. Only one strikeout, but still putting the ball in play. James Shields just one mistake to Duda.
Neither pitcher has walked a man. Tejada grounded into a double play and doubled past third his last time. Right field toward the line. A long run for Kemp. Can he get there? No, it's into the seats, just over the railing and back into the crowd. You can see the wear and tear on James Shields. This heat and humidity, 86 degrees at game time. Of course, he pitched in Kansas City last year and doesn't get exactly ice cold there in the middle of July or late July. Let's take a look at the Fan Diego fan of the game. Our camera's searching, and there they are. Good to have the San Diego Brown in attendance. One and two.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get each and every start for James Shields. He is going to go pedal to the metal. He's going to leave it all out there on the field, each and every pitch.
In the dirt, 2-2. It's been an efficient effort. Only 74 offerings from Shields. He's allowed 5 hits, including the 2-run homer by Duda, but has also retired the last 8 straight. Center field, giving ground, Venable, and he covers that right center field alley. That's 9 straight. Brings up Murphy, singled and scored on Duda's homer. Line to right field his last time.
You know, credit James Shields for hitting his spot that last pitch, because that's exactly where Will Venable, he had to go back a little bit, but he was playing on that first base side of second base. So a job well done by Shields hitting his spots.
Murphy with 2 line drives in his 2 at bats, a line single to left and a line out to right. First pitch strike, 91. Murphy in April's Fool's Baby back in 1985, born on the 1st of April, now 31 years of age. No, he's just 30 actually. Celebrated his 30th this year. Jacksonville, Florida. And Shields ahead on the count, 1-2.
Still great location by James Shields on that slider, getting on top of it, letting the ball do the work down and in.
Born in Jacksonville, high school in Jacksonville, college at Jacksonville University. Two and two. Lifetime .290 hitter.
a little below his average this season. Starts tonight at 272. Hits a ball hard again, but Venable positioned just right for that line drive. And there's 2 gone. 10 straight now retired by James Shields.
Oh, there you see the workload for James Shields. 4th inning, a quick one. But overall, you know, you take away that first inning, that's a pretty good night. The average inning for a big leaguer is like 16 and a half pitches per inning.
After the 2-run homer in the first, the only scoring in the game, due to grounded to Alonso for his other at bat. Southern California product, Riverside. Big swing and a miss. He had a big swing in the first inning and he barreled it up. That's way back in the deep part of the ballpark here at Citi Field. His 15th of the season.
Yeah, what hurt about that one, mentioned it earlier, it was 0-2, and of the now 21 home runs that James Shields has given up, 17 have been solo. 4 2-run shots. If you're going to give up the home run, you want to do just that, give up the solo shot. And
Duda had a breakout home run season last year when he hit 30. He'd never hit more than 15 before that. Got him. Off speed, curveball. So 3 straight innings, 1, 2, 3 for Shields, 11 retired in a row, but it's still the story belonging to Syndergaard. Just 22 years of age and hardly a baby the way he throws the ball. 98 miles an hour. He's got 7 strikeouts. He hasn't walked a man. Perfect through the first 6 innings. Dominant. And the luxury, and there's the closest to a hit. Jerko with the line drive up the middle, deflected off the glove of Syndergaard. There's the 7th strikeout to end the 6th inning. And these knowledgeable New York baseball fans, they know what's at stake here now as he goes to the rubber for the 7th, starting with Venable, then Solarte and Kemp. Line drive, base hit center field. So much for the no-hitter and perfect game. And now the Padres bring the tying run to the plate, and now the building applause for Syndergaard.
There have been 3 no-hitters pitched this year. Chris Heston, Max Scherzer, and Cole Hamels, and it won't be Syndergaard the 4th tonight as Venable slaps a solid single, no doubter, back through the middle.
Fastball down. Played some pepper, went up there at the box. First time out of the stretch. Hopefully that disrupts the timing of Syndergaard.
Yeah, let's hope that might just make enough difference. The Padres get something boiling here in the 7th. It's only 2-0 Mets. Line to center, took a 3rd strike. Solarte. Up the middle, and nice play by Tejada, but the backhand flip doesn't work, and on to third base goes Venable. 1st and 3rd with no one out. Tejada trying to make the highlight reel with that diving stop and blind flip to the second baseman Murphy, but it was way offline.
See if he had enough time to really collect himself rather than make the circus play. There's the flip. There's Murphy covering. When does the runner come in? You know what? It looks like he had plenty of time to glove this ball, go to the bare hand, and try to make and get the lead runner. Try to make too good of a play, and hopefully the wheels come off this inning and the Padres get on the board.
See if they call that hit and an error or just a straight error. Yes, a hit and an error. So 1st and 3rd, no one out. The Padres now the tying run at first, and the heavy end of the order coming up. Kemp, Upton, and then Alonso. Infield back will give up a run for an out or a chance at a double play. Ball 1. So both base hits right up the middle.
Well, after being in that groove for so many pitches into the windup, out, perfect for 6 innings, all of a sudden you got to make an adjustment. Padres could possibly on the verge of tying this one up or taking the lead, hopefully.
Low 2-0. So it is a difference. And maybe you fans think we make too much of it, but when someone is able to pitch for an hour and a half from a full windup, and then all of a sudden it's a different game thrown from the stretch. Let's see if the Padres can take advantage. 1st and 3rd, no one out.
A pitcher gets the most of his stuff out of the windup.
Oh, he drilled one high in the air to the second baseman Murphy. That ball was right where Kemp could have done some damage. He skips down to first and said, oh, that was the one.
Yeah, generally speaking, fastball hitters, they like the fastball up, but when you're Syndergaard, you got 95 plus. Let's check it out of the hand. High fastball, just can't get on top of it enough. And Matt shows his frustration. Get on top of it. Yeah, worked underneath it for the pop-up.
Here's Upton, grounded to third and struck out. Club leader in home runs with 16. Ball 1. Venable at third, the tying run Solarte at first. Infield remains back. Oh, double play ball to short. Tejada to second, back to first. Double play. Well, a golden opportunity for the Padres, unable to come up with a run. Middle of the 7th, 2-0 Mets. Well, say it like you mean it. The Padres did the saying, but didn't get the run home. First and third, no one out. And Syndergaard came up with the big pitches. Shields back to work, and the ground ball back over the middle. Shields couldn't come up with it. It trickles into center field, and Juan Uribe has a leadoff single, and that breaks a string of 11 straight outs tossed by James Shields.
You know, looking at that ball off the bat of Uribe, I'm thinking that James wanted to try to swipe at that, but then he had it in his mind, I don't want to deflect it. I want to give my defense a chance. But the way they were positioned, let's take a look at James Shields. Watch his reaction. Tried to go for it, and then maybe the ball was by him already.
He's off balance toward first base. Tough to get his glove back. So here's rookie Michael Conforto, safe on an error, and he grounded to second his last time. Mets hanging on to the 2-0 lead from the first inning. A 2-run homer by Duda. Shields with 87 pitches. Sean Kelly, who worked here in New York with the Yankees, gets ready. Strike. 1-1. Had lunch today with Tiki Barber, the great New York Giants running back and academic All-America Hall of Famer at University of Virginia. Came up, and he's a big baseball fan. Some good baseball trivia. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And it involves these two teams, or players for these two teams. There are only 4 in history that hit home runs as a teenager and after 40 years of age. Only 4.
Wow.
A couple of them have a relationship with the two teams in action tonight. I'll let you think about it. That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
You start with thinking 40 years old. How many?
And they have Mets ties as well?
One has Mets ties. One has Padre ties. 2-2.
You know, I think of Mets. I think of youngsters that hung on for a long time and played that was a good hitter. For some reason, Rusty Staub comes to mind.
Hey, nice going. Le Grand Orange was one of the 4. 2-2 now. That's strike 3 call. Nice. That's the same pitch that he's been calling strikes on for Syndergaard, and the 3rd strikeout now for Shields. Brings up Kirk Neuenhuis, grounded twice to second base, once into a double play.
You know, when I look into the 7th inning on a hot night and the pitcher is throwing, I look at the stuff. The stuff for James Shields is still there. That's a backdoor slider. Great location, and look at that.
Off the plate. Actually, it would have been called a ball, but he gets a call. 1 out with Uribe at first. Center field. Venable with a good break on the ball and makes the play. 2 away.
Okay, the Padre connection. I'm going to think of a power guy, came up to the big leagues, youngster, and hung on for a long time. Gary Sheffield comes to mind.
You're really good. Those are 2 tough.
After those 2, I'm spent.
Well, the other 2 are pretty easy in a way. Rusty Staub, Gary Sheffield are 2 of the 4 that hit home runs in the big leagues as teenagers and after 40 years of age. And the other 2 are Hall of Famers. Kevin Plawecki, single and a fly ball to left. Breaking ball in there.
Is one of the guys associated with the peach?
Man, you're hot. Are you looking at my notes? Yeah, the Georgia peach. You bet. Ty Cobb did it at a time where he didn't hit a lot of home runs when he was a teenager. Line drive, foul. A wicked line drive into the crowd. She got 3 out of 4 in a hurry. I'm sorry, not both of them are not in the Hall of Fame. You got the Hall of Famer.
Got it. Well, you know what? I was watching the Yankee game last night, and he homered on his birthday. Was it A-Rod?
A-Rod is when he hit.
Wow.
That's what makes this all pertinent, that he hit a home run on his 40th birthday.
Yeah, and I remember the nugget. It was the 6th time that he had homered on his birthday over the course of his career.
A-Rod, Ty Cobb, Rusty Staub, and Gary Sheffield are the only 4 to homer as a teenager and as a gray-beard 40-year-old.
Wow, that is amazing.
Isn't that a good stat?
It sure is.
So there's a football player giving me that baseball trivia. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the Mets in the 7th inning. They leave a man stranded. We've completed 7. Mets still in front 2-0. Thank you, Mike. That should be a great post-game show, so stay tuned here on Fox Sports San Diego for the inside information. Yeah, we had the pleasure of riding from Cooperstown to New York with one of the owners, Tom Seidler. What a nice man he is. And we had super good conversation. He always has a smile. He was the 7th of 10 children, Tom Seidler.
Wow.
Of course, his grandfather, Walter O'Malley.
Always good to see those guys at Petco Park, Peter and Tom.
Alonso. And it's a 3-0 count. Padres with a golden opportunity in the 7th. A single, an error, a single. First and third, no one on, but couldn't bring anyone home as Kemp popped up and Upton grounded into a made-to-order double play. 3-1 to Alonso. Still at 96 with a fastball is Noah Syndergaard. Terry Collins has some core of young pitching arms. Ripped just by Murphy, even with a shift on, hit so hard that it got through the second baseman. Where was that hit in the last inning?
That ball was smoked. Nice effort by Murphy going to his right. Fastball outer half. And about 6 inches or so. Good effort, though.
So that puts a runner on, brings the tying run to the plate. Derek Norris has popped up and grounded to short. He even with Murphy playing out in shallow right field, unable to get to it. Broken bat, fly ball. Can that fall in center field? No. Murphy over there to get it. Broken bat. I thought maybe it wasn't hit high enough for Murphy to get there, but an easy play at that.
You know what? Somebody's very, very lucky because that bat went into the stands and hit an empty chair. I am such a fan of putting screen up all the way down the line. That was very scary.
Yeah, the baseball. Yeah, I agree with you. It has to address it.
It's got to. Look at that thing went flying into the stands. That's a spear coming at you, and it hit this chair right here. My goodness.
Jed Jerko struck out and hit a shot back through the middle that was deflected by pitcher Syndergaard to the second baseman for a 1-4-3 putout in the 6th. Jerko with 5 home runs takes a strike. Watch the barrel of the bat fly. Pinwheels right into the crowd.
Yep.
I mean, it's an absolute miracle more haven't been hit in the crowd or on the field for that matter. 0-2.
Well, third time around for these Padres, and the breaky ball. Boy, all it takes is one hanging breaky ball to make a mistake out of the hand of Syndergaard, and the Padres could be tying this one up.
One away. Alonso with a leadoff single at first.
Fastball up. Kevin Plawecki asks for.
Way upstairs. And that takes Syndergaard to his 99th pitch coming up. Few Padre fans trying the rhythmic clapping and get a rally going here. Low and away, 2-2. Alexi Amarista or a pinch hitter would be next. Only 3 hits for San Diego. All singles. Venable, Solarte, and Alonso here in the 8th. That might have been the pitch. 2-2. A 100th pitches on the 100th game of the season for San Diego. Mets have actually played one less. No, this is their 100th too. Yep. 51-48. Off first and into the crowd behind the Mets dugout. Joaquin Benoit. There's a wonderful restaurant in Paris, Bistro Benoit, and there's another here in New York. Might even be the same ownership because the menus look the same.
Huh.
Two and two.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Well, good to have my son-in-law Will Packer and my daughter Emily is here at the game tonight. Nice. Along with Pedro and Nicole. Nicole, my other oldest daughter. Strike 3 call. Number 8. And Will and Emily presenting me with my first grandchild. And I understand he stole the show during my speech at Cooperstown, little Archie.
Yeah, he most certainly did. He put a big old wet one on the lens of that camera with that big old smile.
Yeah, going to be a spitballer. He's going to be a left-hander.
That's right.
Looks like he's picking up everything with the left hand.
Cute as ever.
Yeah, cute little guy.
Yes, he is.
Here's Amarista, twice up, twice grounded to second. You saw Tyler Clippard getting ready in the bullpen, the newest Met. Let's see whether or not he's going to come in to pitch the 9th inning. The attendance tonight on this Tuesday, 26,034. he was getting that call earlier. Brett Wallace has a bat on deck circle if Amarista can keep the inning going. Foul tip, 1-2. Padres pen, Sean Kelly along with Benoit.
Wave and a miss. Pitch well out of the strike zone. 9 strikeouts for Syndergaard. A shutout through 8 for the 22-year-old from Texas. Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you could save. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. Downtown Manhattan, and we swing out to Queens and go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and James Shields still on the heel, and he throws a slider in there for a strike. Syndergaard out of the game now as the Mets go to the bench. And their backup shortstop, Juan Lagares, hitting .254. What a night for Noah Syndergaard. Gave the fans their money's worth tonight with his pitching.
Curious Familia heating up for the Mets.
He's their closer. Lagares and then Granderson and Tejada. Last of the 8th inning. Smothered foul. So Syndergaard goes 8 innings of shutout ball, 3 hits, no base runners until Venable singled to lead off the 7th inning. No walks for the young man. I mean, with all that power pitching, no walks, what control, and 9 strikeouts. What a pitching line. And Shields, who prides himself in being a pitcher that can get into the deep innings, has done it tonight after 2 consecutive starts with only 5 innings pitched.
Oh, the captain David Wright and DeGrom on the left there.
DeGrom pitched the beauty on Sunday. Line to right field.
Fair ball. Lagares on his way to second and will hold there as Kemp plays it in. Measured just right. Fairly fair.
Well, coming off the bench, Lagares, and he wants to take that pitch the opposite way. It's a high fastball. James Shields wanted it down.
And that's going to be all for Shields as he's labored through this heat and humidity and pitched well, allowing only 2 runs. But with a leadoff double, Murphy goes to the mound. He's got 2 men ready in the bullpen. We'll see whether it'll be Kelly or Benoit to come in. Just one pitch he'd like to have back, the one that Duda planted in the right center field bleachers back in the first inning, but no run support for Shields tonight. Take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, the first one was go ahead, bite the Big Apple, try to get to these Mets, get the most of them. Well, they had to face Noah Syndergaard, 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He punched out 9. 6 of those innings were perfect until Will Venable broke it up, and then James Shields, the Mets offense, 7+, 7 hits, and up to this point, 1 pitch. Lucas Duda, 2-run shot in the first is the difference.
Neither pitcher walked a man tonight, and our pitching change, Sean Kelly, brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Leadoff pinch double by Lagares. He's at second, and the first slider is in there for a strike.
Now we take a look at the numbers of Sean Kelly, this being his 32nd game. The ERA is starting to creep down. He's a strike thrower and a strikeout pitcher. More strikeouts than innings pitched. Since May 17th, his ERA been very low. His whip, .72, fewer than a base runner per innings pitched. He's done well.
He's accustomed to pitching here in the Big Apple. Last 2 years with the Yankees on the other side of town. The Bronx. That one's going to go a long way. Curtis Granderson has matched Duda. 15 home runs for the 2 leaders of the New York Power Department. And suddenly it's 4-0. Man, both home runs, long drives. So one of those runs go on Shields' card. A 4-0 New York lead.
It looked like that ball out of the hand of Sean Kelly worked around it a little bit. Curtis Granderson gets that wide stance, that front foot down. Boy, he stayed like a statue waiting for that ball to travel. Sean Kelly tried to backdoor it. It leaked middle in, and Granderson turned on it like Duda turned on that pitch on the inside part of the plate in the first inning.
Tejada, a double in 3 trips. What do we say about the Mets when they score 4 runs? 41 games. Yep. 5 times they lost. couple of 2-run homers. Duda in the first, Granderson here in the 8th. They were tied for the club lead with 14, and they're still tied. Fly ball to right. Can of corn for Kemp. 1 away. That'll bring up Daniel Murphy, and as we promised earlier in the game, we have tonight's T-Mobile strongest fan photo. Tweet your photo using hashtag SDDataStrongFan. Chance to be shown in an upcoming telecast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Hey, Paul is a big Jesse Agler fan and the Padres Social Hour.
Prime boss. And Clippard is going to make his Mets debut apparently in the top of the 9th inning. Chop to the left side. Tough play for Solardi. Long throw across in time. Well done.
Wow.
That's a good play.
Always wanted to show a little energy. Yangervis Solarte. This is not an easy play. Going to his right, having to throw across his body all the way across the diamond. And a nice stretch by Yonder to get Murphy.
You know, Daniel Murphy could have been 4 for 4 tonight.
Yep.
He lined a single his first time, lined to right, lined to center, and that ball down the third baseline, well, could have been an infield hit, but Solardi played it perfectly. Now here's Duda. Fastball apparently too high. So Shields goes 7+, allows 3 runs, 7 hits, no walks, and struck out 4. He will not earn his 9th win of the year tonight and stands to pick up his 4th loss. I thought that first pitch looked good. It was in the strike zone.
Sure did.
Yeah, the Mets trying to improve their home record to 35-16. He's getting a strike on that one. 2-1.
Well, be sure to stay tuned after this ball game. Padres Live, the postgame show, and then after the postgame show, a special SD Live. Going to talk trades with Scott Miller, the Fox Sports San Diego MLB insider. A lot of good stuff coming your way after the Padres come back and win this one.
Well, Scott Miller was up in Cooperstown, and he was roaming around the hotel with all the Hall of Famers and general managers. I bet he's got some good material for us. 3-1 to Duda. 2 outs, bases empty here in the 8th inning. Shift on. Way out in front. That ball goes up into the mezzanine level. Well, really, pitchers take great pride in coming in, inherited runners, and don't let them score. And it's I know Kelly feels not so good about that home run toss to Granderson to take the game from 2-0 to 4-0. And a bouncer to shallow right field to Jerko. And after the home run, Tejada, Murphy, and Duda down in order. We go to the 9th, 4-0.
trade deadline is Friday, and we go in-depth with all the inside trade rumors and news around America's pastime.
I think there's a very strong chance he won't make that start. In fact, he'll be traded during the next couple days. The teams that we're hearing are the hottest after Hamels right now: the Texas Rangers, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, I'd be surprised if Hamels isn't going to the Dodgers, but what do I know about hockey? Here's Tyler Clippard, the newest of the Mets, acquired from the Oakland A's for a minor league pitcher. His career has just been deadly against left-handed hitters, surprisingly, as a right-handed pitcher. And here are his numbers with the Athletics this year: 1-3, ERA, okay, 2.79. But look at against left-handers, a 100 batting average.
Exactly, and that's because of the changeup and the split finger he throws. And also another nugget, look at the walks. He can get extremely wild at times. Multiple base runners needed here, and a big hit for the Padres to try to get back into this one and tie it up as Juan Lagares goes into play center field. But yeah, Clipper throws the fastball, the changeup, and also a split. His curveball is almost like his fourth pitch. And that pitch dick goes down and away, dips down and away the left-handers. That's why you see such good numbers against left-handers.
He's had a nice career, 9 years with the Yankees, the Nationals, the Athletics, and now back in the Big Apple. Abraham Almonte will pinch hit for Kelly. And that home run was so key for the Mets. Yeah, 2-0. Padres, one base runner, have the hope of tying it up with one swing, but now it'll take a big inning, trailing 4-0. One and one. Meanwhile, for Mets fans, they're checking the scoreboard, and Washington is trailing Miami in the 7th inning 4-1. So Washington loss and a Mets win, and the Mets will be one game out of first place. That ball drilled to right center field, and Granderson isn't going to get it until it bounces off the wall. Plays it in, and Almonte with a leadoff double. That's exactly why that home run by Granderson is so painful. So,
it looks like Abraham Almonte was on the fastball. Let's check it out of the hand. Yep, pretty straight. All over it. It puts some pressure on Clippard. As I mentioned, he can get wild at times.
Top of the order, Venable steps up. He ruined the perfect game of Noah Syndergaard with a single up the middle in the 7th. He had lined back to the pitcher and struck out earlier. There's that changeup.
Yep, it's a good one.
Clippard led the majors last year with 40 holds as the setup man in Washington. Another changeup. He's a native of Lexington, Kentucky, thoroughbred country. Casey Meissner goes to the A's, and Billy Beane obviously had an eye on his arm. Meissner is a potential in the A's rotation.
Been used a lot since 2010. That arm out of the bullpen, the most.
Way upstairs with a fastball. And the closer, Familia, just in case. Terry Collins looking ahead. Another runner gets on for the Padres, and we'll probably see a pitching change. Nubbed, and that could be trouble. Clippard throws and gets Venable by half stride. Time now for the Bill Howe plays of the game.
Well, we're going to focus on Noah Syndergaard in his 8 innings, 9 strikeouts. But look at the fastball. 97 for Noah. Up and out of the zone with 2 strikes. Milwaukee set up, down and away. Look at that, 96. And prior to this game, 784 pitches at 95 miles an hour or faster. There's a 98. That's the third most among all major league pitchers. Highest percentage of velocity above 95 for Noah Syndergaard.
And then the big curveball, they call that Noah's Ark.
Very good. Yeah, the slider tonight, the breaking ball was the equalizer as well tonight. He made a lot of good pitches with that pitch as well.
I mean, it wasn't just the velocity in the 9 strikeouts. What impressed me about Syndergaard at 22 with all that power, not a single walk, and he worked right around the strike zone. How few times did he throw a ball right down the middle, belt high? I don't remember many.
The location was
stunning.
Spot on tonight.
Here's Solarte, a single infield hit and a line out, also struck out. 1-1. A rare strikeout for Solarte, toughest to fan for the Padres, and the 6th most difficult to strike out in the National League. But it was a called third strike on a borderline pitch, and that's where Syndergaard was hitting the spots all night. 2-0. Padres need a couple more base runners. Popped up. Left side, Tejada. 2 away. And Matt Kemp try to keep it alive here in the top of the 9th with 2 gone. Kemp has struck out, fouled out, and popped up. A career where he's enjoyed particular success against the Mets, hitting .337. And he's been hot in the last 25 games, batting .315 with 7 homers. And the Padres' hottest hitter up there, but down to their final out. Almost hit him. Game 2 of the 3-game series tomorrow night. Tyson Ross on the mound for the Padres. Veteran Bartolo Colon, 9-9 for the Mets. 4 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego. No pregame show, but an hour postgame show. Up the middle, Tejada scoops, swirls, throws, ball game over. For the 15th time this year, the Padres are shut out, leading the major leagues. Hard to win when you don't score. Final again, Mets 4, Padres nothing. Here's Mike Pomerantz.